Hello everyone. We are with session 204. Today we have Priya she's joining us from Hawaii. I don't know. I trained how to pronounce it, but excuse me, it's difficult to me. Welcome Priya and thank you everyone for watching. Our live chat is moderated by Peggy. Thank you, Peggy. And ask your questions in the live chat, add your comments. We've been having Priya in the beginning of this year. She talked about appointment scheduling with Google Calendar. And today we are diving deeper with helpful artificial intelligence tools for the calendar. Priya, welcome and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nina, and thank you, Bob and Peggy as well for the invitation to come back to OnEBoard. I had so much fun earlier this year and I'm so thrilled that you asked me to come back. Thank you very much. I've got a couple of AI innovations to talk about today. I do caveat this by saying intelligence is in inverted commas. This may not work in a live stream, but we will see how we go. The first tool that I wanted to talk about is something that's been recently released by Google, which is called Schedule for Me, and it's triggered by phrases in an email. And I'm going to share my screen and we'll hopefully see what that looks like. So even though it's about calendar, it's actually triggered in your email setup. So let me just share my screen. And so in this particular setup, what I've started to draft is that sort of email that we have with everybody. You know, we're trying to set up a meeting with somebody and it's, what time is good for you? When is good for you? Oh, that's not good for me. And it goes back and forth sometimes for fairly protracted periods of time. And this Schedule with Me or Help Me Schedule tool that Google has released is designed to help with that. So essentially, if you're typing an email, in theory, what you will come up with is a little thing down here that says, help me schedule. So let me see if this will work, if I can trigger this. We wait. Okay. Hopefully, Google wants down here a little trigger to come up that says, help me schedule. If it doesn't come up, the AI tool will still work. All you have to do is click on the little calendar icon here that says set up a time to meet and propose times you're free. And live has failed me. I will add that to the email, but this is not the AI tool. I am so sorry to you and your listeners and viewers. The helpful AI has failed me. I'm going to start again.
Yeah, please, because we are in a meeting and it's live, the computing is slowed down. Eventually, it needs a little bit more time. So let's try it again.
Right.
I feel like this gives it a more realistic demonstration of how it works out in the wild.
Yes, absolutely. This is a real world, real world demonstration.
Oh, now I can't even type. Right. Okay. I'm going to move on slightly because it's not playing the game for me, but a couple of other things that Google has released recently, which are working, is this inserting a booking page. So we talked about appointment schedules earlier this year, and how you can create booking pages and share those links with your external clients and customers. What that previously meant was having to go to the page, copy the link, or copy it out of your Google Calendar, come back into Gmail and paste it there, which is a lot of friction and, you know, not the best process for people. What Google's done now is it's not AI, it is manual. If you've already got a booking page, you can actually insert it straight away, just like that. So you can see now it's currently booked. That's the link immediately. Once it gets sent to another person and they click on that link, they'll follow the same process. They'll see the booking page and what times you've set up under your appointment schedule. So it's not artificial intelligence, but it is much easier to use than previously, which is a nice little tool from Google. The other option that Google has started to roll out more broadly is Add to Calendar. And again, this is a tool that has been available on, oh, sorry, I should say most of these are only available on the web, unfortunately. They're not available on your phone or the Google app, Gmail or Calendar app. Unfortunately, they are primarily designed for people who are using laptops or desktops on the whole, which is also the Add to Calendar, which I am so sorry is not working. Theoretically, when you get an email, there should be an Add to Calendar icon right here, which is not coming up.
We can add the slides afterwards. Don't worry.
That would be great.
I said because of the computing, it is slowing it down and cannot give it time to show, to manifest. Yeah.
So again, my apologies to you and your viewers here, but it is not playing the game this morning. Maybe it's too early in Hawaii. Maybe the laptop.
What does the tower show? We have.
Well, this is true.
Generated. What's the time?
It is actually 9:15 in the morning. So on Sunday. So it should be okay. But what I do have is what would happen if the AI scheduling tool, Schedule for Me, was working. Something like this would pop up. So what Google has looked at, so this is one that I sent to myself in advance, just in cases, is it looks at your calendar and says, okay, I'm going to pick some arbitrary times and dates. And it is arbitrary at the moment. There's no way to say only show morning times or only show times on a Thursday. It does just look at your main calendar and look for breaks in the week that aren't scheduled on your main calendar. So again, you can't pick other calendars to block out time or availability. So there's a way to go, but it is a good starting point. And you can manually change this when the tool is available. But in this case, I selected previously the defaults and sent it to this person to say, here's some times that work for me. So when they get this email, they can just click on the time that works for them. You know, share that tab, and it comes up to their, now this is what a Google account user will see, obviously, because Google has access to their calendar. External users won't see these kind of no conflicts readings because Google doesn't have access to that. But you can view your calendars to make sure that there aren't any conflicts, or you can just book now. And so that is the standard process that happens when somebody books you through appointment schedule. Now, both people will get the indicator. Hi, Peggy. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question from the chat. I want to say welcome to the folks who are there, Jolyn and Andrew and Diego. Diego asks, question, is company branding going to show itself on the booking page, or will that need to be added to the email itself?
That's a great question, Diego. So for a booking page under appointment schedule, the only branding you can have is the individual's profile picture at the moment. For this particular schedule with me, I'm not sure of the rollout. It would be excellent if they did allow some option of having a company branding, but at the moment, I'm not aware of that being on the roadmap. You can see it's very basic and very boring at the moment. There's no indication of what the meeting is about or why it's been asked. It's just assumed that you will know who this person is and want to acknowledge or accept a time to meet with them. So it is a start, but there's definitely a long way to go there. So.
I have a question. Is
Yeah.
this only available for Google Workspace accounts, or is it available for personal accounts?
It is a great question, Peggy. At the moment, it is only available for Google Workspace account, and that's business standard and above. So if people are using Business Starter, it's not available for them yet. Now, we have seen Google roll it out for these types of products to Business Starter people later, but at the moment, it's business standard and above. So, yeah, definitely not available for the general consumer. Inserting a booking page is available for everybody, those who are on free Google as well as paid. Because if you're using a free Google account, you are able to add one booking page to your Gmail account or your Google account. So that inserting a booking page in that nice little setup, as we saw, that is possible for free users, but not the Schedule With Me AI tool. Similarly, Add to Calendar, if it was working, is also available for everybody. You don't need to have Google Workspace to have that that icon or that link pop up. Google just needs to be able to know it's a meeting that has been scheduled. Yeah.
So a couple comments. Also, Jolyn says our computer club includes an add to calendar option when we send out invitations to our presentations and events. It works well. And Andrew says, so basically this is not for cold calling type stuff.
Yeah, I would say having a manual add to calendar is a great option right now, because you really want people to be able to have that link already available to them. As we saw this morning, Google's ability to identify that something is a meeting that should be added to a calendar is not 100%. So you don't want to rely on it. So keep doing that, definitely. With the other comment, sorry, could you just repeat it again?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I should have just sat down one at a time. Andrew said, so basically this is not for cold calling type stuff.
Yes, it would be difficult to do it through cold call. I mean, you could, because you are simply emailing people and adding it to that option to book a meeting with somebody. However, you must have their email address, and if you email them and they're not expecting this from you, the possibility that you get marked as spam by the recipient is quite high, and that's not going to do your deliverability any good. Google does look at the way people mark emails as spam and could take action against it. So I definitely want to have at least said to somebody in the beginning, hey, let's have a chat, or as we discussed previously, or something, so that they're expecting it and not just have a cold outreach in the first instance. People are quite possessive about their calendars. We've seen that. There's been a recent increase in spam on calendars. And yeah, sending an email to somebody with some possible meeting times that they're not expecting could result in your email being marked as spam. Bob.
Hey, Priya, I'm guessing that you've used this quite a bit already. And it occurs to me that, people that do a lot of scheduling, this would be very helpful when it comes to making decisions. So, there's something called decision fatigue. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I'm thinking having AI already think for you, I think is a big plus, even if it isn't perfect. Would you say that that is correct?
Oh, yeah, definitely, Bob. I think there are some studies that show after lunch, people's ability to make decisions drops dramatically. So if you ever want your boss to say yes to something, make sure you get them in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, decision fatigue and that ability to really think about something, particularly when it might involve a little bit of back and forth or juggling of one's calendar and priorities, is anything that can take that load off, I think is great. And this immediately does that. It does say, okay, at my end, when I'm asking somebody to offering some times, it automatically gives me some times, and then I can say, oh no, I don't want to do it. It's like that difference between having a blank page,
yes,
and having to come up with words, and somebody giving you something that you can then edit.
Right, right-o. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an assistant, definitely, not the be all, the starting and ending point. Yeah. Yeah. Nina.
So my question is specific for 2026. Can you name one workflow with your Workspace account that you would implement artificial intelligence? All the steps through the applications, such as like calendar invite, scheduling, meeting, documenting. Because from our experience on eBoard, when we start using it, it is so intuitive that we even forget it's AI powered. It's just working for us, and we don't have any more questions when we adapt it. Before we adapt it, we are strongly against, because we need to change habits. That's how it goes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Change fatigue is a big thing as well. Every day is a new thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Nina. What my ideal workflow would be, and as Bob mentioned earlier, is somebody has said, I'd like to meet with you, or I want to meet with somebody. We've discussed it. I send times out to them using AI. It's been able to see all my calendars, my primary, my secondary, and also know which blocks could be moved, for example, which are just sort of indicative times, but it can provide those times to the other person. Once the other person has booked, then obviously automatically there's the calendar invitation, with Gemini taking notes, having been marked already on the meeting invitation, so that when we come to have our video call through Google Meet, Gemini is automatically taking those notes. Those notes then put into my Google Drive, and then I can go back with, again, Gemini and ask it to summarize what was said. So not just did we say a particular task, which Gemini is great at pulling out the tasks out of the meeting notes, but is there something that we ruminated on, perhaps a blue sky thinking project that we didn't have a task for, but Gemini is able to pull out and say, this was something that you mentioned. Would you like other actions to happen? Would you like to schedule a follow-up meeting? I would, thank you. Please generate again some times. Now we know what times work. Decision fatigue, we'd like to have it in the mornings, thank you. No afternoon schedules at all for either of us, and they have to be between 11 and 1 Pacific time. So that would be my ideal flow. And then, obviously at every stage being able to say, yes, that works, or no, that doesn't. Having that human agent in it is still important, but that flow from starting a conversation with somebody all the way through to continuing the conversation with follow-up meetings and agendas would be excellent.
So thank you so much for this answer. Basically, Workspace is expanding a lot the opportunity to cut time, to be productive across the applications. It's not just the calendar, the timing, or the meet, or the document. But of course, it's human first, as we always reminding. Google, please don't take the words out of our context here, which is now close to happening in a meeting. You know, it's very processed. Everything is processed. And we are aiming to remain human first and use the tools. That's what we always aim doing. And yeah, thank you for your answer. It's the great privilege is to use all the applications in the workspace. That's how it's helpful.
Yeah, I think we have to remember these are tools. These aren't replacements. They can start us and they can help. Definitely found that as reading quite long documents, it's very useful to get a summary, but it's not necessarily the summary that I would have picked. So they're good starting points, and trust but verify is a great phrase, I think, to use for these.
We're on the same page. Thank you so much.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, we are also in the green color, all of us.
Yeah. How did we do that?
I don't know.
So I have a quick question. So it sounds like, if I remember correctly, these features in Gmail, they're not detecting all of your calendars. It's just your primary calendar, right?
that's
Do you know if that's on the roadmap to expand it to other calendars? Because that's one of the frustrations I have, that I do have multiple calendars and I definitely want Google to be checking all of them.
Oh, look, if it's not on the roadmap, I would wonder where the utility of this product is, Peggy. You're right. Multiple calendars is so key to be able to check that availability, because I too use many calendars. And also calendars that are shared between the family. So, you know, some of those timings it's just for interest's sake or information, and so the event time is free. But there are ones where I've marked them as busy, and so they should be taken into account when assessing my availability for these sort of meetings. And similarly, I mean, in my appointment schedule, for example, I've said, you know, I can't be booked outside of these times because I'm in Hawaii and I'm a few hours behind continental America. I definitely don't want somebody thinking I'm available at 6 a.m. It would not be fair to them or to me. So, you know, that concept, but I am available at 6 p.m., for example, for Australian people. So that flexibility must be built in. And if Google doesn't do it, then I think they've really lost an opportunity here. And it's definitely the feedback I'm presenting, and I highly recommend to everybody, continue to put your feedback in. Having been at multiple PE sessions, product expert sessions, where they talk about the importance of feedback to their roadmaps, they do read every piece of feedback that comes in and then assess it. So please, if there's something you want from these tools, definitely submit your feedback through the feedback option.
Please, Priya, update us on tasks. Is there something new we should be using with calendar and tasks?
So there's some interesting things around tasks. We know it's languished a bit. There's been a little bit there was a burst of activity last year, and there was some action taken against Google Keep in preparation for this, and then it didn't roll out quite as quickly. So poor Google Keep lost a lot of its reminder functionality, which has only recently been picked up by tasks. So we now have the ability to set reminders again properly in tasks. So it's not just coming up on the time it says, which is good, and also for Google Keep Notes, those reminders flow through to tasks again. So it is very helpful now to have that back as as a feature. I haven't seen it rolled out to everywhere yet, so I think they're probably still coming up with some roadblocks there, but it is rolling out. And, you know, I'm hopeful that there'll be some other things. I know some of the feedback, some of the biggest requests that I see in the Google Calendar forum are around that ability to block a time out to do a task. So at the moment, it's 30 minutes by default. If you add a task to the calendar, it blocks out 30 minutes. But, you know, the task may be 2 hours to write something or film something or whatever, 30 minutes. So I don't know about everybody else, but I end up with 4 tasks because they're 30 minutes, 30 minutes. It's like, that's like my time. Or I just copy and paste it into an event and I don't use the tasks at all. So having that on the roadmap, I believe that will be coming out, but also the ability to make it shared. That is another huge request. I mean, Google Keep, you could share with other people. You could share a note, so people could use it as a de facto task list. You can add a task in Google Spaces or in Google Docs, but again, those are around paid Google Workspace subscriptions, and having that ability to share a task from a personal calendar into your work calendar is something a lot of people ask for, and I understand it is on the roadmap. When it is rolling, I'm not 100% certain, but I am hopeful that that is coming out soon. It will definitely make a huge difference to the way people use tasks.
Absolutely, we use a group task in our space with OnEBoard, and it's really handy. So we can split tasks, and yes, I can imagine teams benefit a lot from using tasks in spaces. It's also calendar related and time related, and you see them on your task lists. But it's flowing, as I said, in between the applications.
Yeah.
Yes, Peggy?
I've got a question. Go ahead, Peggy.
Oh, I was just going to say, you know, I know more about chat than I know about calendar, but I know that tasks in chat has a lot of limitations. There's been a lot of user requests around being able to manage those better as well. So I like to hear that Google's actually working on this, but as we all know, things come in fits and starts, and it's unpredictable when new features will actually arrive.
And when some that you didn't ask arrive.
Yeah, there you go. Prompting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Bob. What was your question?
Oh,
Bob?
no, I'm going to follow up. So let's say you establish a task. Does AI immediately jump in there and assist you with that task, or do you have to ask Gemini to help? Let's say you want to write a letter, and you wanted some help with the grammar or the context. Does Gemini automatically jump in there, or do you have to prompt it inside a calendar? How does that? Do you know how that works, Priya?
So tasks at the moment are just very basic. It really is simply the title and then a very short description with minimal subtasks that you can add to that task. And as far as I'm aware, I think it's a great idea that if I said, you know, draft Nina's performance report, then Gemini should jump in and say, I hesitate to use the, hi, it looks like you're trying to write a letter, Mr. Clippy Star. But,
exactly, that's how I would do it.
But it could do a bit like we do in Calendar now, where you say you have an event and it gives you take meeting notes. It automatically adds that link with a draft of meeting notes in a Google Doc. That concept of, you know, I'm going to write a performance report, or I have to draft my quarterly report to the CFO, then, you know, that or to my stakeholders or to my board, then you could have it automatically a link added that says, this is a template that might help you get started.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That
Yes.
would be excellent, Bob. I really like that idea.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes also it's, I've used examples right now for a big corporation, writing to the chief financial officer, writing to the board. A lot of people that use Google Workspace, particularly business standard, are small business owners who probably need help more so with, you know, how do I draft, how do I redesign my website landing page? Because it's just me. I'm the person that does everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, so some of those ideas, linking into a Google Vids in slides that says, here's some ideas on what those images might look like, I think would be great to help kickstart those creative thoughts for people and get them past the analysis paralysis stage.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what I was thinking of. I'm kind of surprised that Google hasn't done it yet, or maybe they are behind the scenes, because I think, like you said, if you're a one-person army, imagine having that as your assistant. That would be a huge deal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Peggy, do we have any more questions on the live chat? And we will be wrapping up.
I just looking now. Cruising with Kristen says she likes our backgrounds.
Thank you.
And Andrew reiterates, yes, always provide feedback. And he says a lot of this stuff requires an actual Workspace account rather than just a personal account, which is too bad.
Yeah.
But Google is always releasing everything after. So don't worry, everything is coming to everyone.
I feel like it's totally confusing right now, though, because
Right
there's
now,
so
yes.
many features that require a certain Workspace edition, or Workspace with a certain add-on, or a personal account with an add-on. It's totally confusing.
Yeah, it's a transition period, obviously, that Google is, and everyone in the industry is going through. Then it will be standardized. So we don't need to hurry, because we cannot catch up. It's so exhausting to have everything new every day, sometimes every hour. So time is important.
That's where AI should summarize the day's activities and give it to us in a nice, here's your journal entry for today, what you did. And
actually, we are having Bob presenting journaling with notebook on the 23rd of November. Everyone who's watching, welcome to join us then for this interesting presentation. I'm very excited also to learn about use cases Bob has prepared. If you want to summarize anything, Priya, and we are going to say goodbye.
Yeah, thanks, Nina. Again, thank you to everybody for inviting me back today. My apologies that the tech did not work to the extent that I wanted it to, but I think that does reinforce that this is a tool and an assistant. Relying on it, AI to be our be-all and end-all is not there yet, and probably should never be there. But we can also see that Google is moving beyond simply the generative AI, which is cool and exciting. How do I, creating videos and images and documents, but also working to tools that will actually make business owners more productive and find it easier to communicate with their clients and their customers, and people internally as well, obviously. So yeah, it's exciting times. I'm looking forward to it. I'm especially looking forward to anything that they do to make tasks a more viable product. At the moment, I do personally just use events and share them widely. So
we have the schedule ready for next year, and you are scheduled to visit us again.
Well, thank
Very
you so
much
much.
hope.
I'm thrilled to be considered again. And if anybody has any questions, if any of your viewers have questions after these, please ping me in the comments, and I'll jump back in and answer them. But
Yes,
otherwise,
we are tagging Priya's YouTube channel in the description of the video, and we are doing a recap documentation of the resources. You will see more slides on the blog post that can help you visually with the features we were talking today. Thank you for joining. Next week we have 3 tips in 10 minutes and then Bob's presentation. We are going to finish the month with our yearly event, Commitment 2026. So it's again this time of the year when we set our goals for the next year. Thank you for watching and see you.
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Thank you.